We want to get into the Nats. You mentioned the fact they're back in action tonight against the Orioles. Jesse Doherty has an article in the Washington Post posing a question. Trade deadline's approaching in 2 weeks. There's only one trade deadline. It's changed this year. And the question is, should the Nats consider adding a starter? Max Scherzer currently on the injured list. They say no big deal with the tightness in the back, that he'll be back after these 10 days, and he'll be fine. They don't have a fifth starter in reality right now. Davey Martinez was asked on Friday about it, and he said, as of right now, the fifth starter spot is open. We'll see. And they're using guys like Austin Voth, Eric Fetty at times, Kyle McGowan, Joe Ross, who's been in the bullpens. They have guys that they don't necessarily love, though. So he considers it an open spot. Do you think the Nats need to add a starter? And if not, what do you want to see the Nats do as the trade deadline approaches? We can open up to callers at 800-636-1067. I mean, I think all of us would say bullpen is number one.
That's what I would say. More bullpen depth. I love the Rodney pickup. I think he's going to be a critical part of the second half run.
You looked the other night when Matt Grace blew it.
Yeah.
So I gave that stat yesterday that in 22 straight games, they've either been tied or had a lead in the seventh inning. And the games that they've lost, it's been because of the bullpen. But you look at the game the other night, I believe Rainey came in and took care of business. Suero came in, took care of business. It was Matt Grace. They know they're weak. Like, to me, Suero and Rainey have been pretty good. And Rodney has been surprisingly good. I wonder how long that's going to last.
I mean, he's under a 3 ERA. I mean, you can't ask for much more from a 42-year-old guy who was jettisoned by Oakland just a couple months ago.
Solid. You know, he'll blow one on occasion, but Doolittle's been solid.
He's good, not great. He's good, not great.
Right. Correct. I would call it, pretty much. I would say pretty good.
Yeah. He'll scare you.
So I would initially think, well, bullpen is number one, but maybe it would be wise to add a starter if you can, because they point out the Red Sox picked up Cashner from the
Orioles.
Yeah,
for a couple 17-year-olds.
They shipped off two 17-year-old Dominicans.
Right.
And I looked like they were just like playing in the Dominican Summer League.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about prospects? They're deep prospects.
Yeah, and the Red Sox are kind of desperate for another starter, so who knows what those guys will turn into. But
so I'm looking at the names.
I don't hate adding a starter.
I'm looking at the names of the starters that might be available for trade. The top of the list, Madison Bumgarner. Only makes $12 million.
Those are right. That's a big name option. Just points out from the Mariners. Mike Minor from the Rangers and Tanner Roark.
Tanner is another name that I see.
Are what they call low-cost options.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the Nats would be more about the low-cost option.
Roark's earning $10 million. Bumgarner's earning $12. Give me Bumgarner. And I like Tanner Roark.
But is he a free agent next year? Doesn't matter what he's owed.
I'm not sure why. I think they're just saying he's starting to show some signs of wear and tear. So that's why the Giants might be thinking about unloading him. I'm not sure what his salary is.
What do you think the Nats need to do? 800-636-1067. I think they need to add a reliever. I think it'd be nice to add a starter. In terms of the everyday lineup, I don't really think they need to add anybody.
Exactly.
They're pretty deep.
Yeah, I don't.
Zimmerman, I kind of have a problem as much time as he is over Kendrick and Adams, but it's the way they roll.
What's the latest on Max and the back? Is he still slated to make his next start?
I don't know. JP just prefaced the whole segment by saying they're not too worried about it, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say.
It's just a little stiffness.
I mean, he should come off the DL and the IL in, 4 or 5 days at this point?
Yeah, maybe less.
I know who I don't want. I don't want Mark Melanson again. I'm over that. I'm just trying to look at the names of guys that might be available. And be honest with you, Fetty's been pretty good this year when given an opportunity. And they like both. They like both.
I want to say that Fetty was I saw that he was going to have like a start in Double-A.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be shipping a lot of these guys to Double-A.
A ton of their guys.
Away.
Yeah, I mean, they'd rather have. Harrisburg's 2.5, 3 hours away.
Yeah,
you can actually get there from here. You can't get to Fresno from here.
Yeah, I forget who it was. Remember they brought somebody from Fresno who barely made it.
Oh, I can't remember.
They called him up and he showed up like an hour before the game.
Yeah, after being on a flight for 7 hours.
I think they have 4 or 5 guys that have been on the big league roster this year that are currently in AA instead of triple because of that reason.
Because it's so
suppose.
close.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. What's the closest AAA league? Like Rochester?
I think
remember
they just ran
Rochester-
out of
whatever-
affiliates.
Whatever
the,
used to, like Rochester used to be AAA.
all the close affiliates for them.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're-
you're going
we're
to have me look
taken.
up AAA baseball right now.
I don't know. Bay Sox are AA,
They can't
right?
wait.
So you would
Let's put it
rather
this way.
have the relief pitcher than the starter.
If push come to shove, yeah, I just think it still need more.
I agree.
I think they can make it work with Fetty, Voth, maybe I'm still dumb enough to still have some
I mean,
faith
I don't
in
think
Joe
they're
Ross.
desperate for a fifth starter.
I don't think so either.
because
I mean,
think
who has 5 silly starters?
I don't think they're going to win the division. But, you might need a fifth starter to hang on to the wild card, but I don't think you do. I think
once
as
the
long
playoffs
as,
come around, you're not even
as
gonna
long
use
as
a
those
guy.
3 guys are healthy, as long as Max, Strassi, and Corbin stay healthy, I think you can still win the wild card with those 3 guys because you have a legit shot at winning all 3 of their starts.
I mean, that's such a luxury item.
But
to
you
have
definitely
a fifth silly starter.
definitely have to add a piece or 2 in the bullpen.
I think so. That's what I would do. GM EB.
Yes.
But I know
EB Rizzo.
I would be the worst GM ever.
You'd be a terrible GM.
I probably would have donked off Davey. I don't know what else I would have done. Probably would have just bailed and trade Rendon.
You would have kept Max, though.
Oh,
You're a Max guy.
I'm a Max guy to the end.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens before because you got Bumgarner. You've got some pretty big names for starters. Bauer maybe, but Cleveland's kind of in the mix. So I'm not sure that they trade him. Stroman in Toronto is having a really good year. The record sucks, but his ERA is low 3s because the team's terrible. Robbie Ray in Arizona. Apparently the Yankees might be in on. So there's a lot of teams vying for starters, but there'll be pieces available for and that's the other thing is now you only have the one trade deadline. Teams got to make a decision, because not like you could wait until the August 31st and say, all right, we're out of it. Let's sell.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've got to decide if you're in or out by July 31st.
I don't hate the adding a starter theory because in the back of my mind, Strasburg's on borrowed time, and I'm looking at a stat for both Strasburg and Sanchez, their 4th starter. They haven't made 30 starts in a season since 2014. Both these guys may be on borrowed time.
Yeah, but there's no sign of it, although there was no sign of Max breaking down other than the broken nose. Did it come out? Did I read later? It came out that the nose bit happened because he was trying to bunt the ball over to hit the assistant coach. Like he was goofing on the guy. The assistant coach gave him a hard time about his bunting, and so then he tried to
Oh, I didn't see
I
that.
don't know the reason behind it.
It looked like he was
the coach.
Looked like he was lollygagging.
Yeah, it just
with
looked like
the
he wasn't paying
bunts.
attention. He was just like,
No, but if you read it, I
Okay,
think that's what
maybe.
he's claimed. He tried to hit the coach, and it hit him instead.
Definitely hit him.
Yeah, joke was on Max.
Hey,
I
it
don't
didn't
know.
affect him. He went out and won
No.
his next start.
Went
Here's
out
the
and
thing.
balled.
You got the Orioles the next 2 days. The Nats right now, we're feeling comfortable about it. But as we said yesterday, once they get beyond the Orioles, then the schedule stiffens.
Oh, yeah.
And so come July 31st, when the trade deadline happens, you're going to have a true sense of this team because I can't remember who it was. I think it was Boog. When we had Boog Shambi on, he kind of had a pump the brakes vibe with the Nationals saying, look, they're really hot right now and they're playing good
But they're
baseball.
going to come back down to earth.
But exactly. They're not going to keep playing like this. And he wasn't like, I'm with EB. I now a week ago said, I think that they would be a playoff team. I would bet on them being a playoff team. But what if they end up playing the Dodgers, getting swept by the Dodgers?
I'm still betting on them.
Yeah.
If you go around the room right now, are the Nats in or out of the playoffs?
Of course they're in.
In. Cakes?
I have to shift. Earlier I said no, but
Yeah.
by the way they're playing now,
Lurch?
yes.
Are you
Put
gonna
them
say
in.
no now?
It's tough to say no when they won 40 of their last, or 31 of their last 42.
Yeah, but like 10 days ago, so you did say no. And they were in the middle of that.
Yeah. But, I mean, the schedule.
Now you're back in.
Yeah, but what's that mean?
I just curious. I just want
There's still
you on the record.
there's still 70 games left.
Yeah.
The next 15 are be
In
telling.
or out?
I just said in.
All right, in.
But the next 15 will be telling,
Yes.
which is true.
Especially when you play the Braves and the Dodgers in, 11 of those.